If you're looking to do some more Mediterranean diet cooking, then this video is for you. I'm going to be walking you guys through what I like to call my quick pasta sauce. Now, a typical Italian pasta sauce is meant to be cooked on a low flame for a long amount of time. In other words, low and slow. But I'm a medical doctor. I'm pretty busy, and some of you are too, and you don't always have time to be making a sauce for 2 hours. So if you're interested in cooking something with a lot of whole ingredients, fresh flavors, and you just don't have that much time, then this is a great alternative to a low and slow sauce. It's my quick sauce. So I'm going to walk you through the equipment that you would need, and if you'd like, you could even follow along in your kitchen right now. Here's what we need. We need a small simmer pot. So this is just a pot with a lid. And then I have my chopping board with my knife, and I also have a serrated knife, and this is really helpful for chopping things with skin, and both tomatoes and bell pepper has kind of a tough skin to get through, so serrated is the way to go for those. And then I have a little bowl that I always keep nearby for the scraps. The bell peppers are gonna have a lot of seeds and the guts inside that we wanna cut out. And so for a little bit less of a messy situation, I just keep a little scrap bowl next to me. And if you look in the description below this video, I have links for all my favorite cooking tools that you can check out yourself if you're interested. So let's go over the ingredients in this sauce. My favorite thing about the Mediterranean diet is that it's very simple. A lot of the recipes, when they focus on the whole fresh ingredients, you don't actually need a lot of ingredients to make the flavors really pop. So for this, it's super basic. I take some cherry tomatoes, or you could use a little bit larger, like a grape tomato or even a Roma tomato. But these are the ones that I have in my kitchen, and they're going a little bit, so they're perfect. And then I have a few bell peppers. And then I'm going to be using some olive oil and some salt. Now, in terms of which olive oil, which salt, people can get pretty fancy with their variety of olive oil, but I would say an extra virgin olive oil, that is the way to go. You wanna make sure the olive oil comes in a dark bottle so that it's protecting the oils inside, that they're not getting oxidized or they're not getting damaged from sunlight. But other than that, you can kind of choose your variety. And then in terms of the salt, the same thing. Some people like a certain type of a sea salt or a mineral salt. I just use regular table salt. And if you'd like to get some more recipe ideas or other information about the Mediterranean diet and all of the health benefits, please subscribe to the channel because we are building such an amazing community on here and you don't want to miss out. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and I'm gonna start by chopping up my peppers. Now, the inside of these peppers has a lot of seeds, so this is where our little bowl is gonna come really in handy. I'm going to put my serrated knife to the side, and first I just cut them through the middle. You don't have to be with really fancy chef knife skills in order to be able to cook for yourself, and that's something that in fact I was really intimidated about myself. I'm not a trained chef, I've never worked in a kitchen, and it took me a while to kind of feel confident in the kitchen. So if you are in the same boat, fear not. It can look as strange and funny as you'd like the vegetable pieces to be, but the nutrition is still in there, and so is the flavor. So I'm going to be chopping out some of the seeds from the inside. Now, the Mediterranean region grows a lot of what are called nightshade vegetables. So nightshade vegetables include tomatoes, bell pepper, eggplant, zucchini, and all of these have so much flavor, and the nice thing is they're pretty watery vegetables, so you can make so many kinds of recipes using these ingredients. Of course, in Italy, tomatoes are like an absolute staple of their diet, but what I like to do is to just change up the flavor profile. I balance out the tomatoes with bell pepper. It just gives it some dimension. The other thing to know is that in the United States, where I am, a lot of the tomato sauces on the store shelves, they are a slightly different type of a tomato sauce than what you would typically find in an Italian grocery store for pasta. Usually in the US, they sell something called a marinara sauce. And marinara usually has onion or garlic inside of it. And a lot of Italian pasta recipes don't want to have a sauce with a lot of onion or garlic because it really changes the flavor profile, especially for pasta dishes like a ragu, like a meat sauce, especially like a bolognese. A lot of Americans make that mistake, and myself included. I lived in Italy for 6 years, and so I learned how to do this from the Italians themselves. So my favorite type of tomato sauce to buy for a pasta, if I was gonna get it from a grocery store shelf, is something that is just pure tomatoes. Usually you can buy a jar of strained tomatoes or even a can, but I like to get a very pure tomato flavor in my pastas. Now the truth is, when you're making something like a homemade sauce, you don't have to eat it with pasta. Not everybody likes to eat pasta, and certainly not everybody likes to eat pasta as often as I do with my family. We're eating pasta sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. But it can also be included with a meat or a fish or a rice. So the nice thing about sauce is it's so versatile and you can do so much with it. All right, so most of our pepper is getting chopped up. And as soon as it's ready, I'm going to put it on the heat and let that start to cook down. Now, why am I doing the peppers first instead of the tomatoes? No particular reason, but something to keep in mind is that the tomatoes add a lot of water, but so do the pepper. And so anytime you're adding water, you need enough time to let that water evaporate off if you're trying to cook down a sauce and make it a little bit more concentrated with a little bit of a richer flavor. Now here's something that I would never do in one of my sauces, but I know that some people do it, is they throw in something like butter. That is like a huge no in Italian culture. You don't put butter in a pasta sauce, like almost never, unless it's specifically a type of pasta that calls for butter instead of olive oil. I'm thinking of something like ravioli that has like a sage butter sauce. That would be fine, but in a tomato sauce, you would not want to put something like butter inside of it. Those are not really the right flavors to put together. It's not to say that you can't, it's just not that traditional. Italians almost always cook with olive oil, same with Greeks, same with Spanish. It's just such a nice aromatic oil to use, and there's so much flavor variety in different types of olive oils. Whereas butter, you can get some variety depending on the quality, but I don't find it nearly as interesting. And then when it comes to the health benefits of olive oil versus butter, I got a video for you up here if you're interested. Okay, we're ready to turn on the heat a little bit, and we're going to add the pepper into the pot. Now I am going to add a small amount of olive oil to the bottom of the pot first so that we don't make it stick, but not a lot. Some people can go really crazy with olive oil. About a tablespoon amount you'd want total. So since I'm going to be adding olive oil at 2 different points, I'm going to make sure that I put about a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half the first time, and then again later. All right, so we're ready to put our peppers into our pot. You can hear that already start to sizzle up. Excellent. Now something to know is that the surface area of the pot is going to change the amount of cooking time you have. So if I use a really big pot that had a really flat, wide surface at the bottom, more of the pieces of vegetable are able to actually contact the surface of the pan or the pot. So they actually would cook down faster, but it's important to pay attention because sometimes if it cooks too fast, it could even burn. All right, so I'm gonna turn this heat down a little bit to medium low. And we're gonna just let that cook in there for a little bit. The goal is you wanna think about how watery you like your sauce. Some people like their tomato sauce pretty watery. I don't. I like mine to get concentrated down, so I wanna maximize the amount of time that the water can evaporate out of the pan or out of the pot and then that helps concentrate down and make the flavors really amazing. Okay, now eventually what I want to do is add a little bit of salt. I'm a pincher when it comes to salt, so I just kind of pinch and go for it, about 3 pinches. Now the salt is going to help suck up the juice. If you recall the concept of osmosis, when you put salt somewhere, water likes to follow it. So the same thing is happening on the surface of vegetables, and I learned this when I studied nutrition in my undergrad degree. Salt draws water out of things. So if you're putting salt on the outside of a vegetable, it's going to pull the juice out with it. We do want that to happen when we're making something like a sauce. So I'll just let that start to do its magic. All right. It's important to kind of watch the vegetables that they're not going to burn at the bottom, but as the juices start to get pulled out, it's going to start making a really saucy texture, and then you don't really have to worry about it burning that much. We're ready to move over to our tomatoes, and so I'm going to switch knives and use my serrated knife here. Now, not everybody cuts their tomatoes in half, because the whole point of this is a quick sauce. I want this to move in its cooking process as fast as possible because I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to actually cut these in half so that it allows the tomatoes to release their inner content or their juice faster, and it just cooks the whole thing a little bit more quickly. So I'm going to turn this heat back up on the peppers. The goal is now that some of the juice is getting pulled out, I'm not worried about it burning anymore, but I want this process to move along. Now eventually, when a lot of the water is pulled out, I'm going to put the lid on it. That will really capture the moisture and make it a really amazing saucy texture. Okay, so let's start cracking with these tomatoes. The nice thing about including a variety of colors in your diet in terms of the vegetables is it balances out some of the different what are called phytonutrients in plants. And these are the extra properties of plants, and there are different molecules that are found that are known to give our body things like anti-inflammatory or anti-cancer properties. And there are so many thousands of these molecules, especially in the really colorful fruits and vegetables. So I like to get a variety of color into my diet just because I know I'm giving it that much more boost. All right, coming along here. Now I'm going to start to turn that heat back up because I'm hearing that more water is coming out, so I'm not that worried about burning it anymore, but I want this process to move along. Now it's really important to be careful when you cut little tomatoes because they're very rolly, they could slip. You don't want your knife to go flying the wrong angle and then you cut yourself. Very, very sharp knife that I'm using. All right, we're starting to get some more broken down texture with our veggies. Now, a lot of people are probably watching this. You might be wondering yourself, why is she not just using a jar of tomatoes? Why is she doing it like from scratch in this way? Well, I like to eat as many whole foods as I can. And unless the tomato sauce that I'm buying is pure tomatoes, it's not necessarily as optimal as eating the whole foods the way they naturally come. So something to pay attention to is a lot of varieties of tomato sauces that are sold in the grocery store could have added sugar. They could even have added thickening agents, which are often like a guar gum, a gellan gum, or even a carrageenan. You just want to read the ingredient list. When you start to see like 20 or more ingredients, you might want to check. Unless those are all different spices and flavorings, that's not necessarily extra health benefit for us. And so maybe we'd want to go for a different variety of a tomato sauce if we're starting to see that. All right, we're starting to get really broken down here. And this, cutting the tomatoes in half, cooks down the tomatoes super fast that now these things are just sizzling like crazy. And I can see so much juice is getting pulled out of these veggies. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit more. Now, if you had an immersion blender, you could even blend this down and make it incredible, and it would add a certain creaminess to it. I actually tend to keep mine kind of chunky. I just like that texture, but you can do whichever way you prefer. Now, if you're able to see inside of this pot, you'll notice that it's really starting to cook down. Let's see if I can lift that up for you. Look how broken down those veggies are getting. Really gorgeous. And soon I want to add a little bit more olive oil. It's gonna add a creaminess to it. You'll notice at the side of my pot, it looks like some of the juice is burning a little bit, and that's okay. So now I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil. And this is where I really add a little bit more. And we're going to let it simmer in the pot. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt at this point. Now you could add some other flavorings like black pepper, onion, garlic, but a traditional pasta sauce from Italy usually is gonna have very pure flavors, and I actually prefer not adding too many crazy spices for a pasta sauce. Now, if I was going to cook some fish or some meat or some legumes, I would absolutely add the spices. But you can do whatever you like. Now we will wait. All right, so now the sauce is really cooked down and it's got a little bit of creamy texture to it. So I will reveal this to you guys and you can see how it turned out. And in the background, you'll notice that I started boiling some pasta because I'm preparing dinner, and I wanna show you the complete dish all together. So if you're interested, I do have a different tutorial video where I go over how I cook a pasta that you can follow along. So check out that video if you're interested. So now we have our beautiful tomato and bell pepper quick sauce that you can see. So there you have it, a very easy and simple pasta sauce recipe that you can make from scratch yourself. It's just tomatoes, bell pepper, olive oil, and salt. That's it. I didn't really measure the amount of olive oil or salt, and so you can kind of play with it depending on your preferences, but you can't go wrong. The flavors are insane. They are so, so delicious. I know you're gonna love it. So now if you liked making this pasta for your dinner, but you're looking for other dinner ideas on the Mediterranean diet, I've got a great video for you up here where I talk about all kinds of things you can make for a healthy dinner. Check out that video and I'll see you in there.